Hey friends, welcome to Three Themes Live.
Hey.
What are you laughing about?
I'm just like, you're going to have to talk.
You're going to have to talk.
What?
You're going to have to say something. That's what we're here to do, right?
Yeah.
We're here to talk with you, and we are so glad you are here today. So happy to have Suzanne with me as well.
Happy to be here.
Welcome to Three Themes Live. Let's go. Hi friends, welcome to Three Themes Live. I'm Kris here at my girlfriend's quilt shop, and I'm so excited for a new day. It is a Tuesday, and yes, I'm still here. I know some of you are going, baby watch, what's going on? I'm still here for, we'll see how much longer, and I'm glad to be here as well. But welcome to Three Themes Live. Hey, I have got two really great talkative people with me today. I got Sandra and Suzanne.
We got lots to talk about today, too.
We do have lots to talk about. How are you guys?
We're good.
Pretty good.
Yeah,
Very good.
You know,
Thank
Sandra, I hear you had a very busy morning this morning.
I did. I really did. I had my granddaughter with me this morning, and she's 3.5, and so while Grandma's in there, you know, getting her makeup on and doing my hair and stuff, Molly had to be right there with me.
Oh, well, of course.
And she came out like a painted lady.
Oh,
She had lipstick on. She had blush on, eyeshadow, you know, the whole bit.
all the
I hope you got a
things.
picture. I hope you got a picture.
She wanted to be just like Grandma.
Yeah, she was right there with me the entire time. It was so fun.
Now, is she one of the triplets?
No,
Okay.
she's the sister.
The sister of the triplets.
So she's an only girl.
How old are
Okay.
your triplets right now?
They're 8.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and they are so busy right now. They're in
Yeah.
soccer and flag
All the
football,
things.
and you know, so Nana and Papa are right there behind them the whole time.
Oh.
It's so fun.
Isn't being a grandparent the best?
It is the best.
It is the
For
best.
various reasons.
Yeah, for various reasons. I know. I'm ready for number 2.
There you go.
Number 2, he's
well,
on
you're
his
just
way.
beginning.
I'm
Yeah,
just
she's
at the beginning
she's a newbie.
stages. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know, Sandra, you've got like 17?
17.
I've got 15.
What?
I've got 15.
Holy
Yeah.
smokes, I can't even imagine. Wow.
Oh, your time will come.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. That's exciting though. Very,
Yeah.
very fun stuff. So how's everyone doing back at home? We are so happy to see so many of you joining us from all over the country. We're so incredibly grateful when you do. Thank you. Thank you so much. And when you, come on, we are really grateful when you like, when you comment, when you share. That helps us here at my girlfriend's quilt shop, and it just makes us so happy to see you and to see you coming through. So definitely give us a shout out and let us know you're here because we want to be able to say hello and thank you for being here. Yes. All right, ladies. Well, today we're talking about something that's kind of unique in the quilting world, right? We're talking about when we make a sewing block. Often those who are outside of the quilter's realm will say to us, they'll look and they'll say, why do you take beautiful fabric, cut it up, sew it together, and then, go from there?
I hear that
Do you
so
hear that a
much.
lot?
I hear
A
that
lot,
so
a
much.
lot, all the time.
Right? I mean, do you guys hear that at home? I know I've heard it
Yeah.
many times.
My answer is always the same. It's
What's
because
that?
It becomes more beautiful when I do that.
Oh,
So,
because all those colors coming
mixing it
together,
together.
right?
Right.
So then what's the answer to the question of, okay, so you take, tell me if I'm reading this right, you're taking beautiful fabric, you're cutting it up, you sew it together, and then you cut it up again? And sew it again?
And again.
What is happening?
Yes.
It's something new, though. It's like it's fun.
And the thing about it is, there's a lot of the blocks that are very traditional. Ones
Yes.
that have been around for a lot of years.
Yes.
And yet we're cutting them up and making them look even different.
Rearranging makes a totally new looking block.
Yeah, it
And
does.
more modern.
A little
So,
bit more modern,
yeah.
and that's
And-
what we're going to talk about
Yeah,
today.
I think it's just fun to do something new. It's just fabric.
You know what? I love that. That's perfect. It's just fabric, right?
I say it all the time.
It's just fabric. This is not world peace. This is just fabric.
Exactly
We can do this. And it's okay to cut it up and put it back together
and
and cut it up
that piece of
again.
fabric that you've been looking at on your shelf for heaven knows how long, take it down.
And use
Let's do something with it.
Ooh, yes, yes.
I have to do
love
that.
it.
It's like, I'm not going to live that much longer. I may as well use that fabric.
I love that. So I guess that takes us to this question of, when you look at a quilt block, do you look at it and think, is this more of a vintage quilt or is this more modern? What would the two of you say are the differences, or what have you seen out there would be a differentiator between a more vintage quilt and a more modern? Suzanne?
Well, for me, when I look at a vintage quilt, it has a certain type of fabric.
Okay.
And some of those are coming back in to be more modern, like our little ditzy prints. All the calicos.
Sure.
They're so cute.
They are cute.
But to me, that kind of dates a quilt. Not that that's a bad thing.
Right.
Because, I love those prints.
Yes.
Also, open space.
Would that give a more modern look?
That'd be a more modern look to me.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think so too,
Yeah.
more modern.
So-
And also whether it's all solids or
Solids,
prints.
Okay, so do you think you could take a more traditional block and make it more modern?
Oh, absolutely.
For sure.
How so?
Cutting it up.
Right? Cutting it up, right?
Changing my
Okay.
fabrics
Changing
makes
the
a huge
fabric.
difference.
Different
Change
fabrics.
the color of the background too.
Yeah.
A lot of fabrics, or a lot of older quilts have kind of a darker background, or more of a
Just
not a
maybe
white
yeah,
background, not
yeah.
a solid white.
Yeah, but something that's just kind of plain.
Sure.
Yeah.
Plain.
A
Where
little more. Well, I mean, I'm looking at the quilt over there, and it looks a little more vintage to me. So, but yeah, leave lots of open space, a lot of white, do a lot of quilting in it, or don't put any color in the background. Just do it, all the blocks where everything is a color. Don't leave any open space. Like
interesting.
slash quilting, or you know how we can do that, strip quilting, that kind of thing too.
Strip quilting.
So I love that.
I love Gail shares on YouTube, if one fabric is good, adding more just makes it better.
Absolutely.
That's right.
Yeah,
She's smart.
I think that she is a smart cookie, isn't she?
Yeah.
I love that. And then let's see, Debbie is also sharing that her favorite thing is the fabric choices that makes the same pattern look different.
Oh, totally, yes.
Yeah, and we've seen that over and over again.
Over and
right?
over again.
We recently talked about that, I think.
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
When you were showing the cathedral window.
Cathedral windows, that's right. Yeah.
Right? And it made it look completely different.
Yeah, it
took
does.
on a whole new life of its own, right?
Yes, it does. It's
Depending
true.
on the fabric. Well, let's go ahead and take a look at some blocks up here on the screen. And we would love to hear from you. Go ahead and type in the comments, do you believe this is a vintage or a modern? Because we'd love to hear what you have to say. So here's the first one. Is this vintage, or would you consider it modern? Going to give you a second to think about it. Go ahead and type those answers.
I mean, those are just typical half square triangles.
Those are typical half square triangles. I think what 90% of blocks out there are based off of, right?
Right,
A
yeah,
lot.
exactly,
Yeah.
a lot, yes.
So would you consider that more vintage or more modern?
I'll give you my take on it.
Okay.
I would say the pattern is vintage because that's been around forever, but those fabrics are modern.
Yeah.
Mixing the plaid and the floral. I
Can
think
be.
that those could be.
I
be
don't know.
modern.
I still see plaids a little bit more vintagey, don't you?
I do.
When you think about that too. So I kind of, gosh, that's a tough one.
That one's hard.
They threw us for a little bit of a loop. I would, I don't know. That's tough. I'm seeing in the comments a lot of you it's kind of divided. A lot of you
Yeah,
are
it is.
saying vintage and a lot of you are saying modern, which is kind of like where we're at too, I would say.
Yeah,
Right?
I think it's pretty much of a toss-up.
Yeah, I think Cynthia agrees with you, Suzanne, that the pattern is vintage, but the fabric is more modern.
It looks
So,
modern to me.
Yeah, Interesting.
fabric does.
Okay, let's take a look at the next block then. All right, vintage or modern. This is a block that we have up in our sewing cafe right now.
You know, that's an interesting one because those tulips, I have a quilt or a wall hanging that my mother made that has that very same tulip on it.
Really?
And so to me, it would look vintage. However, because it's done in the solids like that, I'm thinking it's probably a little bit more modern.
Yeah. That is so interesting. I would love to see that quilt, Sandra, because that is, I thought for sure when I saw that, I thought, oh, that's definitely more modern. But you're right. I think that there are some patterns like that we see out there that
have been
around for a long time.
For a while, yeah.
And Judy said country.
Country.
Judy, that wasn't one of the answers, Judy. But she's right.
She's right, yeah.
And you know, maybe something that leads itself to a little more country would be the frame it's in too.
That's true.
That's true.
We've
That
got
wooden frame.
that wooden frame. It gives it a little more country look, right?
Yeah, it does.
Okay, how about this one? I think this is a definite.
Definite.
This one definitely screams something.
Yeah. And
What would you say
I
that
would
is?
say I'm
Yeah, I'm with
Yeah.
you on that.
I would say that's definitely
Again,
Several
I think the
things.
pattern
You
is
think
probably could be old.
the block itself,
The pattern could be old.
Yeah, but I think because it's the solids,
because it's the solids, and I would also say because of the quilting on it.
yes.
You really didn't see
Yes,
straight line
straight line
quilting
quilting.
as a more, you wouldn't consider that more vintage. If you're thinking of quilting as a little bit more vintage, you're probably going to look at more of like a really tight stipple, I would say. Don't
Yes,
you think? And then
yes.
they would wash it, so you'd get the little bit of crinkle to it. What do
As
you
the
guys
more
think?
vintage one, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, it's a more vintage. Laura shares on YouTube, she said it seems to be, or excuse me, on Facebook, it seems to be seeing a lot of those flowers lately. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of different variations of that
Yes.
flower
Yes.
lately. I
Yes.
would agree with you on that, Laura. Okay, how about this one? This one's one that's hanging up in our studio right now.
Well, I'm calling that one modern.
Are you?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Just because, to me, I don't really know why, but it's modern to me. You know, I can't really put my finger on what it is. Except for I do think the quilting in the background, it looks like it's, you know, machine quilted.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, you know, that gives it a little more
Okay.
up to date.
Well,
Yeah.
and I also think so too because of the choice of the fabric, like you said.
Yeah, the
Now,
fabric.
if you were to put some calicos, like you said, some, you know,
could make it
more,
look
you
older.
could make it look like an older Civil War type print.
Someone said, digital design said vintage with a modern twist. Okay,
Yeah.
I
like that.
That's fair. I would
Yeah.
agree with that. Okay, how about this next one?
Now that looks very vintage.
That's
to
Yes.
me.
This was actually from my grandma's quilt that we have hanging up in the studio. And this was a quilt that her her quilt group of friends, I should say. It wasn't a guild necessarily, but a group of friends had made for her. If some of you who've been with us for a long time remember that I said she did not sew any one of those seams, but she pressed them all. She was their official presser, right?
That's the one hanging on the wall,
That
Suzanne,
is.
that you were
I was looking
talking
at,
about
yeah.
over
And that
here that
definitely-
we were looking
Definitely
at. So.
vintage.
That is called, what was it? Something Paris. Meet Me in Paris or something was what it was called. But it's got that Dresden fan, very
Right.
vintage for sure. All right, let's take a look at this next one. There's something interesting happening with this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that.
Perhaps we should have saved it for the last. But there we go.
I think
And-
we may
it is
see
the
that
last
one
It is the
again.
last,
This
yeah.
is the last one. I think we might just see this again. Suzanne, tell us what this one is.
Well, to me, okay, you want to know what I think it is?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's originally a vintage type of pattern because it's just a four patch. But
A four patch, what are you saying?
It's been tweaked.
Oh, okay, there you go.
All right. And someone said, I'm thinking it's a combination.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And again, vintage with modern
fabrics are-
fabric.
The
Yeah.
fabrics are very beautiful.
Well, we threw in a little trick, a little trickster
Aren't we
for you.
tricky?
Yeah, we're so tricky because that's exactly what we're going to be talking about today. I mean, when we talk about taking fabric, perfectly beautiful fabric, cutting it up, sewing it together, and then cutting it again and sewing it together, well, folks, that's exactly what we're going to do today with the very traditional 4-patch, now with a modern twist. Suzanne's going to take us step by step on how to do the disappearing 4-patch, and then stick around for theme number 3 because Sandra's going to take it one step further and show us all kinds of different variations that you can start with a 4-patch, and it's going to blow your mind. I mean, it's completely different than you've ever seen. I'm excited. It's going to be a fun show today. I'm glad you're here. And then, of course, I'll just tell you right now, stick around for theme number 3 because we have a sneak peek of mini quilt trios. I know you've been asking, and we're here for it. We'll be back in just a moment.
I absolutely love the Wonky log cabin block. We're going to use a 10-inch Wonky log cabin trim tool. These come out so fun and just a little bit like me and you.
Little bit off.
You're always going to start with a 2.5-inch strip.
Okay.
Sew down one side, sew down another side.
And perfect. Here
so
we go. Oh, you
she's
can't
just
even
sewn.
tell. Yes,
then
I love it.
we'll add the next side. So we are just going to line this up right here, and just see how that square goes right in our center every time. So now we're going to take and we're just going to
you can't
trim.
be worried about wasting fabrics.
No, we're going to turn this around, and we're also going to turn our ruler around for 1B.
That's awesome. This one is still the center square.
But look what we've done. So now we have our completed Wonky log cabin
That was magical.
block.
Magical.
Isn't that great? It is a huge celebration this year of our independence.
Yes.
3 Things Live is where we always have something to make you smile
Something to learn.
and something to discover.
So there you have it.
I absolutely love it.
can't-
I'm in love.
Let's go!
Welcome back, everyone, to 3 Things Live. I'm Kris.
I'm Suzanne.
And I'm Sandra.
And we're here at the sewing table to talk about the disappearing 4-patch. It's one that's been around for a while. Perhaps this is something that's brand new to you. Maybe you've never seen it before, or maybe you've seen it perhaps a while ago and went, oh, that's right. That would be a fun twist to do with
Yep.
a regular 4-patch block. So let's take a look at the finished project first, and then Suzanne's going to take us through it. So
All right.
look how cute that
You
is.
see that all right? Oh, yeah, that's so
my
cute.
goodness. I'm in love with this. I'm in love with the fabric.
Yeah.
When you look at this, you don't even think of it really as a 4-patch. I mean,
You
once
don't.
you sew them together.
You've got these little 4-patches, but they didn't start out that little.
Right.
Well,
It's
you would
they
hope
started out
you
much
wouldn't
bigger.
have to sew that little
Yeah,
tiny thing.
Right? Because you're looking at, those are probably 1-inch squares.
They are 1 inch.
Yeah.
And so to have to sew all those little ones together, this is one of those quilts that it looks a lot more difficult than it is. Am I right, Suzanne?
Yes, very true. Very true.
Yeah.
And it's super fun to sew because you don't have any triangles, no folded corners or anything. It's just
No bias edges.
simple. That's
I
why
love
I
it.
love it.
Not
Okay,
a lot of
so
matching either.
would you
Oh,
guys
yes.
consider the fabric more vintage or more modern?
I would call this is modern fabric to me.
To me, it's modern, but it definitely has some vintage prints.
Prints.
Yeah,
Yes.
Vintage prints in there because, I mean, come
Look at
on.
this.
Look at the little kind of the ditzy flowers
That
in
one.
here. That is definitely, to me, that feels a little 30s.
30-ish.
You
yeah.
know,
It's a little pastel. Mm-hmm. And then you've got your plaids right there too, which
my
you were
gosh,
talking about
look at
earlier.
that.
Okay.
Oh, yes, you guys are loving the fabric. Yep, Donna's like, it is so pretty. Love the fabric.
It's springtime, don't
Gail
you think?
said it's to die for. It is very springy and very summery, I would
Yes,
say.
it's
Oh,
very,
yeah.
I mean, I could just see this out on my
at
table
that.
for April.
Yes, absolutely. And May and
Yep.
June. I mean, honestly, that is absolutely gorgeous.
Other thing I like about it, just real quickly,
Yeah.
I like there's little pops of kind of dark fabric in there too, which makes everything kind of, everything stand out. It makes
Yeah.
everything look pop on its own.
Yeah,
You know?
I would absolutely agree with that. Okay, love, love, love. All right, Suzanne, take us
All right, I
through
will.
this process because
All right.
this is fun stuff. All right.
Well, for this quilt, it's super simple because you need 2 charm packs, 5-inch charm packs.
Okay.
And you're just going to sew them together. I did mine all completely at random.
Okay, when you sew them together, what are you telling us to do?
I'm going to tell you, just pick up you're going to have a background charm. So I had a charm pack of just grays.
Okay.
You can do yardage.
Okay.
So I chose that. And then I had this really unusual one of
Yeah.
just that I've saved forever, thinking I would
one of
use
those
it.
that you
Yeah.
saved.
Forever.
When you said that today, I
Yes,
was like, okay,
yes,
that's
yes.
me. And
Yeah.
so I thought, well, I only have 1 charm pack. I don't have anything to do with it. So let's just use the fabric.
Oh,
you know?
yeah.
But we're
So-
sewing them into a 4-patch,
Correct. So you're going to have 2 background and 2 of your print or whatever it is that you choose to do as your fabric that's going to be kind of the star.
Okay.
You know. So if you take those, you're going to set them up like this, you know, opposites, and then you're going to just stitch this, stitch this. Sandra, I'm going to have you stitch one together for me. In fact, let me have you do this orange and gray one.
Okay.
And I think we're set up at 1/4 inch already.
Yeah, I think we are.
All right, so we're working on the Brothers Stellar 2, and you have it set up at a 1/4 inch.
I guess
is
I got
that
to
right?
use my foot pedal.
Yep, you do.
Yeah, it's set up at the 1/4 inch,
Yep.
so we're
Okay,
good.
perfect.
And then with this particular pair of fabrics, this is a little thicker, if you feel that. It's a little thicker.
Yeah.
So I've pressed everything to the background or to the,
Oh,
you know,
interesting.
because it's kind of hard to press this. As if
Yeah.
I could press to the background, I do. All right, so Sandra, we're going to take these 2 together and we're going to sew those. I'm going to go ahead and press that, just finger press out a little
Okay.
bit. And we're going to sew those 2 together, okay?
Okay.
And then we're going to move on from there and show you how these are going to become
Sandra,
magic.
as you do that, let's get a shot of you showing how you are pushing those seams together and nesting them.
Okay, so basically what I'm doing here is I'm pulling my seams together here. Let's see.
Let's go ahead and right
You
over
wanna
here,
do it-
right in front of this
Okay.
camera.
Let's
Yep.
do it right
Oh.
there.
Right over here.
All right, let's
Okay,
do it there. You do it
We're
right there.
going to do it right here
All right,
because
there
that
you go.
camera's not working. All right, so here we go. I just want to make sure, especially for those who are new, who are joining us, when we talk about, you know, getting a perfect, you know, corner to line up, we definitely want to do what's called nesting the seams. So we're basically, where one seam is going one direction, the other seam is going the opposite direction, and we're just butting those up against each other. So again, I like to, you know, mention that especially for those who may be new to sewing or quilting.
So something else about starting these, like sometimes, does your machine ever eat your fabric?
Never. No, no. What are you
you're
talking
the
about?
lucky one.
No, I think it's happened to all of us, right?
Let me have one of those.
Okay, so I was going to also just mention leaders and enders. So a lot of people start their fabric or start their needle in some fabric because it makes it a little bit easier. I think the machines like to start in fabric.
Yeah.
Because if you're starting right at the edge of it, it will push it down in the hole sometimes. So we're going to start these with that. And then there's a bunch of things you can do with leaders and enders as well. You can just use just one little piece of fabric.
You can't just trash them?
What?
Don't you just trash them afterwards?
No.
You don't?
Sometimes you can make 2 quilts at once.
What?
I'm serious.
No, thank you.
So,
Tell me more. Tell us more.
Here's a fun thing you can do.
Okay.
So some of my scraps are already cut into 5-inch strips. So I just took a tumbler or a Dresden ruler and just kind of cut up a bunch of them. I have them in a little basket. And I don't do this all the time, but I have them in
Yeah.
a little basket by the side
Okay.
of my machine.
Okay.
If I need a leader or an ender, you know, like if I'm coming to the end of that, I will just take that, fold it in half right here, and then just, of course, do it the right side out, right side's in. And gives me a little Dresden, like that right there. So
look
you
at
could just end yours
you.
with that.
Look at
you. Can sew
you.
it, and then by the time you're done, you might have 20 or 30 of them. So then I just take
That's
them,
too funny.
press them, and sew them
Okay.
together.
I love that. That's a great idea.
It is something you can do, or you
is a
can
great
just
idea.
trash them.
Okay, I want to make sure and clarify something else.
95% of the time I do.
When we talk about leaders and enders, a lot of us take for granted that terminology, right?
Right.
What we're saying is you take a basic scrap of fabric. It doesn't have to have anything to do with this quilt, right? And do you see how Sandra started the sewing right there, and then she just goes right off of it, and then
Chain
when
piece
she's
it.
done, she's
Right.
putting it onto another, this is what we would call an ender.
Yes.
Okay, again, this is scrap fabric, and this is just a way to be able to get a nice finished seam all the way to the very
All the way
end.
to the edge. Very true.
And to help prevent any,
Yep. Anything coming apart.
that
So,
machine wanting to eat it up, right?
Yes. Oh,
okay.
that is just so aggravating.
It's the worst.
It really is. Okay, so we
Okay.
have this ready.
Yeah.
Oh, did I get it? Oh, I did. I kind of.
Just a little tiny fold. It's no big deal. We can also show you guys that you can get these split that.
Yeah.
And what do you call that? You do it all the time.
I call it
a pinwheel.
spinning the seam.
Yeah.
Yeah, spinning
okay.
your seam.
Spinning the seam. That's it. So you could just take that.
Let's pull it
Open
right
it
over
up.
here. Uh-huh.
Yeah. Open it up a little bit, and then the thread will just pop.
Uh-huh.
And then you'll press it in a circle all the way around. I don't have little snips, or else I would snip it better
Yeah.
for you. But that's very handy.
You can get it
in
nice
this
and
particular.
flat. Oh, look at it
So you
there.
can see one right there.
It's like you have this little 4-patch on the
Yeah,
back.
it's so fun.
Cute, right?
So, and it does help this lay down a little flatter, and
Yeah.
especially if you've used fabric like I've used,
Yeah.
because this is quite thick.
Okay, so leaders and enders, that's a great tip. I have to laugh because there is a term that Sandra calls them.
yeah.
What do you call them, Sandra?
I called them Harry Larrys.
Oh boy.
Because
Harry Larrys.
Okay, so first of all, I use that piece more than once.
Yes, over
Okay,
and over again.
and over and over again. I'm using that piece of fabric, and so by the time I'm done with it, it's got threads coming out of
Yes.
everywhere.
I love it.
So
Very fitting.
Yeah,
Yep,
I've
Harry
always
Larry.
called them Harry Larrys.
I'm going to be changing to that. I know I will. So.
I think that's a lot more fun name than leaders and
Yeah,
enders.
I
That's too
agree, I
boring.
agree.
Okay,
So-
so we've got a 4-patch.
We've got
What's
our
next?
4-patch together. So let's just get that out of the way.
Okay.
We are going to go to the next part of it. Wait, let's take one of these. So we've got it all together. Oh, I don't want to do that
Oh,
one.
not yet.
No, I want this one. I
That's
still
a
want here.
revealing one.
So we're going to take our ruler,
Okay.
and we are going to pretend this is pressed really
Okay.
nicely.
All right.
In the pattern, it tells you line this up 1 inch off the center, and you're going to cut this.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to cut your nice work, okay? And it's not
So
going to hurt
scary.
anything.
That's
It's
a
not
scary
gonna hurt
thing for a lot of
anything.
people, right?
Yeah, it is, because you just put something together. So I'm going to rotate this around, and I'm
Okay,
going to do
you're
the other
doing
side.
something really, really important right now.
Okay.
You're using this rotating mat.
I love the
rotating-
rotating
Is that a game
mat.
changer for you when you do this process?
Yes, because I don't have to pick any of this block up and move it around.
Or maneuver your body around it.
Yes, oh, so true.
That is even worse.
Yes.
Now, if you are careful, you won't have to move anything at all the whole time. If
Now-
I were pressed
Okay.
better, I could,
Yeah. Suzanne, I noticed that you did one side and then the other, and now you're going and cutting again from. Why can't you just go around in a circle?
I don't know. It just feels right to do this.
Okay,
it'll
so
move
then
too much.
Actually, there's no reason why you
Right.
couldn't.
I feel like
Yeah.
it would move too much.
It definitely
for
does.
Me.
Yeah.
I kind of
when-
like to have a system.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right? I like it to be a little,
Yeah,
systematic.
so, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
you can see that that's lifted up a little bit, but
Can you see how wonderful it is to have that rotating mat?
I love it. I love it.
You're not, moving things
All
around
right.
so that down the line it's not going to fit really great together.
Look how cute.
I know, it's the cutest little tiny 4-patch.
I love it. Okay.
So we're
So
going
what
to
do we
leave
do
that guy
next?
right there.
Yeah.
That little guy stand. But we're going to switch a few of these around.
Okay.
In that we're going to take this. And don't worry too much that your little zigzag edges, the pinked edges,
Mm-hmm.
are in there. Don't worry. We are going to keep everything. We're going to square this block up.
Okay.
Which is something I'm so grateful for.
Yeah, definitely.
We're just going to rotate all these skinny
So we keep
Just
them in
your
the same
center
place.
blocks, just
You're
your center
rotating.
pieces, but
Yeah.
you're going to leave your other blocks in the outside edges.
And so now you can begin to see what we're going to come up with.
Okay.
Now, you could do lots of other different types of twists too. At first I thought I could just do this. You know, you could do that. You could make it different that way, and you could have left the others the other way. But for this table runner, we're going to leave them just like they are. This is
So
how
that
it
your
is.
colors are in the same quadrant, I guess you could say.
So we've got this little section here
Okay.
and this over here. So
Okay.
once we've sewn that all together, you just sew it together like a
So
9
we are-
patch.
Okay,
So here,
9 pieces.
In rows,
here, and here. You would do that.
Okay.
because
right.
sometimes you sew them in rows and sometimes you sew them in columns.
Correct. This one we could do in rows.
Okay,
So you could do this to this to this.
Okay.
And then add this one to these two, this one to those two, this one to those two. All
Okay.
right? So that's what we're going to end up with. And it will give you
Wow, look
this
at
block
that.
right here.
It's beautiful,
So
Suzanne.
I know, I love them. They're
Yes.
just, that's why I love this particular pattern. It is just so easy. But you will take your ruler, you'll square this to 8 inches.
Okay.
The nice thing about this is, because you don't have any half inches to worry about,
Yeah.
you're just going to put the 4 right down that center line. And on this ruler, it's got that little spot right there. Makes it perfect. Then do the same thing all the way around. Trim that edge.
oh
trim
wait,
that
you have a
edge.
rotating mat.
I do. I'm not going to trim it though. But I mean,
Wait,
if you
wait,
want to
wait.
trim it, you can.
Suzanne, don't move that block.
So
Okay,
anyway, we'd
so
square
we're going
that to
4
8.
inches from the center all the way around. That's going to
Yeah.
give us an 8-inch unfinished block.
Yeah,
Okay.
and you won't have too much waste. It's really nice. So,
I can see what you meant by don't worry too much about those pinked edges
Right.
that came from the pre-cut.
So my little tip about that
Mm-hmm.
is just keep these, as even as you can, because
Mm-hmm.
out here, if this is sticking out a little bit more than, the rest of it, it's going to be trimmed anyway.
Okay.
So
Okay.
don't
That makes
sweat
sense.
it too much.
Okay, I like that.
If you look at this, our beautiful table runner, we also have this darling outer border.
I love that.
Which is actually just some of your, your
charm
5-inch
packs.
charm packs
Yeah.
sewn together and cut right down the middle. So,
Oh.
and that's what I love about it. All you got to
Okay.
do is you take in the charm pack, and I've got some of them sewn together here for you.
Okay.
You're just going to, I think it's 11 of them or 12. It says on the pattern. You sew them all together. You can see that. And then, of course, I would be adding those. And we're going to just take the ruler. I would just fold it up like that. Cut it right down the center at 2.5.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And then you just sew it to the edges of that, and you are done with this. This is an afternoon project.
Wow.
That's why I love it so much.
And can't you see it in so many different variations too?
I pulled out so many charm packs. If I had more than one of them, I didn't use it. But since I only had one of this one, I thought, well, that'll be fun and interesting.
What a
It's got
great
a lot of
Oh,
fun.
Suzanne,
weird.
I'm
What a
anxious
great
to see it all
color
finished
runner.
up.
Yeah, I'll finish it up. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean different holidays. I mean,
Yeah.
you switch it up. But you could take the same technique and you could make a baby quilt.
Yes, you
make
could.
a large
Oh,
quilt.
Can you imagine how cute that would be? Put 5 rows of these.
Oh my goodness.
I mean,
It'd be
and you will
darling.
have a little extra
Yeah.
of the charm block patch or charm.
Charm packs?
Yes, the charm packs.
The 5-inch squares
You'll
out
have
of the
those.
charm pack. Okay.
And you'll have some extra. If you probably had 3 charm packs, you could make a baby quilt.
Oh my
Easily.
goodness. That would be
So,
so cute.
It would be darling. In fact, yeah, that's a good idea.
I love that. I love that. Are there any questions out there that we can help answer? This was excellent.
It's just so simple, you guys. It's so worth it.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things, especially, if you're just trying to find something new, something to change things up a little bit.
Yeah, don't be afraid.
Don't
be afraid to
of
cut
doing
that.
something
I
like
mean,
that, right?
It's
Right.
a 4-patch. You can just put a couple extra
Yeah,
cuts or some
yeah.
different ones like Sandra's going to do.
Yeah.
They're-
Now,
Jennifer-
this is like a traditional disappearing 4-patch,
Yeah.
isn't it? This is one that you just always go to.
Sure,
Yes.
Your
right.
go-to.
Yeah,
Okay.
but there's other different ones here. We'll see in a minute. But I want to take a look at some of the comments. Jennifer shares, Sandra, I just give mine a trim every so often and keep using them. She's talking about your hairy Larrys.
Talking about my hairy Larrys. Just give them a trim, you know, like when you go and get your hair cut, you're
Snip
just
it,
going
make
to
it square
trim them
up.
up a little bit.
I think you're missing out on all the fun, Jennifer Hoffey.
Yeah,
I think you
exactly.
gotta just like have them go all over the place, right?
Exactly. You got lots of them
I
everywhere.
love that. Yeah, I love that. All right. Any other questions?
Oh, there was something else I was going to say about this, but I forgot what it was. I mean,
You-
it was, yes. Oh, I know something. You could, if you felt like it, instead of making these just the 1 inch, you could make them a little bit wider. You know, you could
yeah.
totally change it around.
So you're telling us we don't have to be that exact on, like
Yes.
if you want to have a little bit larger,
Yes,
You
yes,
could go
absolutely.
1.5
you
inches.
can go as big as
Have
you
a
want.
larger,
Yeah.
or you could go tinier too, and it would look, you know, really.
Oh my goodness.
That
No,
would look
this is
very
fun.
tiny.
I love this. This is a really great block. It's one of those go-tos when you're just trying to think of
Exactly.
something different to do, right?
This is one of my go-tos,
Okay.
especially if I'm going to give a gift, a table runner like
Yeah.
this. So
How
darling.
quick.
All right.
Yeah.
Well,
Quick and
you
easy.
all have seen the disappearing four patch in, you know, what most people consider a basic disappearing four patch. But have you seen even more twists on the four patch? Oh, I'm so excited because Sandra has additional ideas of what we can do with that basic four patch. I can't wait. And we'll show you that in just a moment. We'll be right back. For someone out there who might not know what a jelly roll is,
40 individual pieces of fabric cut 2.5 inches wide from selvage to selvage. So I sew 2 together, and then we're just gonna put them right sides together
okay,
and sew down one side and the other. I'm gonna create kind of a tube. So you need that 45-degree line right on my stitch seam.
stitch seam.
I'll just make my cut. And then I can just use the right angles. So I will just, when I'm going to make my next cut, just flip over. It's super easy. And then watch how this just
Oh my goodness.
pops open
Yes, I love that.
and you get 2 different looks from that tube.
Yes, I love that.
Welcome to Galas, the ultimate 3.5-day creative retreat from my girlfriend's quilt shop. Come stitch, learn, and connect under the stars with hours of open sew time just for you. Each day brings inspiring demonstrations, new ideas, and techniques to spark your next masterpiece. Plus, you'll be able to rub shoulders with our seasoned sewing veterans that you know and love. Work on your own projects, share stories with fellow makers, and create memories that last long after the final stitch. Enjoy exclusive gifts, fun surprises, and a creative community that feels like family. Join us at Galas in beautiful Logan, Utah. 3 days, your projects, endless inspiration, where creativity shines bright. To learn more, click the link below or go to mygirlfriendsquiltshop.com and sign up today.
All right, welcome back, everyone. It's great to have you be here with us. That was a great demo. I loved that. And I
Super
think
fun.
a lot of people are excited. In fact, Annette shares in the comments that she had made one of these before. She was so scared to do it, but it was incredibly satisfying once she was done.
Don't be scared. It's fun to cut up fabric.
Yeah, it is fun to cut fabric, and it's just fabric, right? It
is just
All
fabric.
right, so, all right, Sandra,
Okay.
let's take it another step further, shall we?
Okay, so with your basic 4 patch, okay, and
Yeah.
I started with, again, the 5-inch blocks on this one. Okay, there are ways that you can cut it. So what I'm going to show you here is, I've taken my 4 patch, and I have marked it 2 inches from each corner. Okay, so you can see these little, kind of vaguely see the little marks right there, 2 inches from
Sure.
each corner.
Yeah.
And now I'm going to cut it diagonally.
Okay.
So I'm going to lay my ruler on here.
From
and
each mark?
From each mark. So I'm going to go from this one to that one.
Okay.
Okay.
That's daring.
So here we go.
Wow.
There's one. Okay. And then I'm going to turn it. And I'm gonna go from this one to this one. Again, it's really, your rotating mat is almost
Game changer.
Oh,
You have to have that,
it
right?
with this one. Okay, and I've done it there.
Okay.
I'm going to turn it again, just a, quarter turn.
Love
3
that.
Oh, it's going to be so cute. I can envision it.
and number 4. Okay.
Okay.
So, I've cut it up.
What in the world is happening?
And now look what I've got. Okay. So here I've got it, and I think we need
we
new
need a
blade.
new blade in there.
Yep.
All right. So we've got all these little.
All these little pieces. Okay.
That seems like a lot of pieces, my friend.
Okay, but just wait. Sorry.
No, you're good.
I should have pressed harder, maybe.
Okay. Sometimes it's hard when you're sitting down.
It
too,
is.
Yeah.
You know
right?
what? It is. You're exactly right.
Yeah.
It's a little bit harder to cut when you're sitting down versus standing up.
But look at that. Let's help you out
That's
here.
gonna
There
be-
we go.
Okay.
That's going to be fun.
This one and that one.
This looks a little intimidating, I'll be
Yeah,
honest.
it does, doesn't
Okay,
it?
yeah.
Okay. So now I'm looking at it going, okay, what can I do to change this?
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to move this one to here, and this one to here, and this one to here.
Wow.
And this one to here.
Okay, that has changed everything already.
Okay,
That's
it.
That's it.
That's it.
We don't have to change any of these.
Oh, well, let's see. No, those are going to stay.
You can keep
Let's
them the
do
way they
this.
are.
What about change
Let's
that?
change
Yeah.
that one.
Okay.
Just give that a quarter turn. And what do you think of that?
Wow.
Look at that. That's you
Okay.
would not know that was a 4-patch.
Wow.
You would never know that was a
Okay,
4-patch.
so how does this
Okay,
come back together?
now again, remember when I said something about you sew in rows or you sew in columns?
Yeah.
This one you're going to sew it in columns.
Okay.
Okay, because your rows usually go this way. This one's going to go this way. So
Oh,
you're going to sew
okay.
this
So
one
a
and this one
diagonal.
and this one
Okay,
together.
okay.
Then you're going to sew these 3 together, and then you're going to sew those 3 together.
And then all 3 of these come
and then
together.
them together.
Okay, let's
and
swipe
once,
that off.
Once you've done that, it's going to look like this. And then I like
You
it.
could go, uh-oh.
Did I do something wrong here?
I've got pieces that are sticking out,
Yeah.
right?
So then again, like what Suzanne did, you're going to go on there and you're going to square it up,
Wow.
and it's going to look like that.
Isn't that fun?
That's gorgeous.
That's a 4-patch.
Wow.
I
that
love
was a
that.
4-patch.
I love that.
Bravo. Wow.
You
Okay.
could do a whole quilt with that,
You
and
could.
it would be super interesting. I mean,
Yeah.
Wow.
beautiful. It would
Okay.
be beautiful.
Okay.
4-patch.
How about disappearing 4-patch on steroids?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. There you go. Okay.
So we're going to
next one.
do another one. So, okay, let's take a 4-patch. Let's just grab me that one. I'm not going
There
to
you
cut
go.
this one up. But I'm going to take a 4-patch,
Mm-hmm.
and all of a sudden I'm going to make a 16-patch.
Okay. Tell us
All
how you're
you
doing
have
What
to
a
do is cut 2.5 inches all the way around.
This would be such a good blender block, like an in-betweener.
Yes.
I would
You
love
start
that.
with the 4-patch, you cut 2.5 inches. You start with a 5-inch block, obviously.
Okay, so you're just cutting it
Yeah,
here
there,
and here
And
then
there
turn it
and
in
there.
Okay.
And then you're sewing it together, and you've now got yourself a 16 patch. Have you ever thought you
Hey.
could do that?
No.
And because
No.
because you did it that way, you don't have to sew a bunch of straight
Oh,
little
yeah.
strips
You
together
don't have
and then
to
cut
strip-
and then sew
yeah,
together.
Or even
It's
do
fast.
2.5-inch
Okay.
blocks all the way around.
That totally works.
Like that. That's snap.
Okay,
I mean,
that
you've
was
got
fast.
that done fast.
Okay.
Okay.
Love that.
Nice.
So let's
All
try
right.
another one.
Want one of these?
Let's see this one. Oh, okay. This one here. Again, you're going to start with a 4-patch, okay? And then I'm going to cut 2.5 inches off of each side.
Okay.
And then I'm going to separate those, and then cut 2.5 inches off of the top and the bottom of this
Okay.
one. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So I cut it apart, and I put it back together.
What?
Okay, so you see
Okay.
2.5 inches
Yeah.
off of this side.
Yeah.
2.5 inches off of this side,
Sure.
and then 2.5 here and here.
Okay.
And I've sewn it together, and I've
Okay.
got this.
Their mind is being blown.
Okay.
It's like a magic trick, they're saying.
And then square it up, and you've got that.
It is magic.
Isn't quilting so much fun? So much fun. I
Yeah.
love it. Okay.
Yeah. So then you've got that.
Okay. I love
Another
it.
one.
Okay.
Another one. You ready?
Woo.
Okay,
Can we handle it?
I don't know if we can handle it.
a 4-patch. Now this one here is really tricky because it can be actually done in a lot of different ways. Now
Okay.
this one here, I started with a 4.5-inch block.
Okay.
Just a 1/2 inch smaller.
Okay.
Okay, and I'm cutting,
2 1/4?
3 inches.
Oh,
3 inches off
3.
of this side and 3 inches off of this side.
Okay.
And 3 inches here and 3 inches here. And I'm gonna rearrange it and it's gonna look like that.
That's
I
beautiful.
like that. That's really nice.
Okay.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
I love that.
And I'll tell you, once you get going on this one, you can and I could, if we had a few extra seconds, I could cut it apart and show you. But this one here, you can arrange that in like 4 different ways.
Absolutely.
4 different ways you
Yeah.
can make it look so different.
So I wonder what would happen if you cut diagonals through that and you rearrange
Oh
that.
boy, you are just.
And then rearrange
like-
this
yeah.
again.
We're like-
oh yeah.
And then pretty soon you don't have any block at all.
Your block is
Because
this
they're
big.
like this big. Okay. I love
but
it.
guess what? It's just fabric.
It's just fabric. That's right. Okay.
Just an experiment.
Do you have another one?
Yeah. No, that's it.
That's it,
Those
okay.
I mean,
Woo.
I'm sure we could go more.
That's
if you
about as
wanted.
much as I can take in one day.
Yeah.
Okay, but you know what the good news is? Here's the great news. The fantastic news. Are you ready? We have a free download for you on everything she just shared because I know all of you are just going, I'm not going to be able to remember all that, but we got you. We got you. So tell us what we have.
So on this, it shows how I took this one, this 4.5-inch one, and then took the 3 inches around all of it. And you could, on this picture, really quickly, you can see it was like this,
Yeah.
or like this.
You could change
See,
it.
like I said, you can change this one so many different ways. So you
Okay.
make it work whichever. See, there's like 3 different ones right there.
So much fun.
Yeah.
And then you've got these other
And
ways.
then these are the other
the
2
slice
ways.
and dice and yeah,
And it's
I mean,
there.
it's all right there for
It's
you
all
guys.
right there. So different ways that you can do it. I think there's
Wow.
what, 1, 2, 3,
There's
4,
like
5
Yeah.
on there.
wow. Okay, that is
Yeah.
so cool.
A 4-patch. Just
And it was all from a 4-patch.
Yeah.
And everyone can make a 4-patch, right?
Yeah.
So I love
It's
that.
great.
Very, very fun. Thank you so much, Sandra, and thank you, Suzanne.
Of course.
I mean, this is cool stuff.
We had
I'm
fun talking
loving
about this. It was really fun.
Absolutely. This is great. If they are interested in the technique sheet or the pattern and the kits for that beautiful table runner, Suzanne, where do they find it?
You're going to find that online for the kit, but also the pattern is free in the club.
Yes, free
we
in the
go.
club. All right. And then the disappearing 4-patch in its different variations is free for
Slice
everyone,
and
right?
dice. How's that sound?
Yeah,
Slice
I love
and
that.
dice.
I kind of like that.
Yeah.
I kind of like that a lot.
Yeah.
In fact, that's awesome. Well, thanks, you guys.
Of course.
All right. Well, we hope you were inspired today and just get cutting that fabric. You know, here's the thing. If you mess up, say you did it on purpose because you've now created a new disappearing 4-patch,
Exactly. Right,
whatever you
exactly.
want, right? I love it. All right, friends. Well, before we leave today, we want to remind you of a few things, and then I've got a sneak peek for you of our this month's mini quilt trios. First off, do not miss tonight. Tonight, my friends, tonight, da, 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 da. It is our swig party, and that's at 5:30 p.m. We are going to be talking about the Baby Lock Victory Serger. It's your 4-thread serger. It's the first one in the lineup with no tension dials and jet air threading. It's incredible. Everyone needs one in their sewing room. I'm going to tell you why, and you do not want to miss it because you might have a chance to win
Might.
a serger.
Wait,
will.
somebody will win.
You will.
Somebody will win.
Yes, at the end of
pick
tonight's
me.
show. Exactly. So we're very excited about that. So join us. It's just a few hours away. So put it in your phone.
Yeah,
Like
a
a little
notification.
alarm that
reminder.
says, do
Yeah.
not miss. All right. That's on
Yeah.
at 5:30 p.m. tonight. And it is National Serger Month. So, you know, we've got deals on all
Everybody
the
needs a
sergers.
serger in their life.
I think so too. I definitely would agree.
At least one.
Yeah.
What are you saying?
There you go.
I have several, but that's okay.
And then we also want to remind you that Stitch Your Story America is going on right now. 6.5-inch block. We want to see them. Bring them, send them in, bring them in wherever you're at. We want them either mostly in red or mostly in white, we are going to be sewing those up into a gigantic community flag. We hope, but we can only do it if we get your help. So we really need your help. So go ahead and take a few minutes of your time, even if you're just cutting up a 6.5-inch piece of fabric, my friends. It is a-okay. You can do it piece, you can do it applique, you can do machine embroidery, you can paint it, you can draw it. Any of those things. Alice, I saw you on earlier. Do the cool drawings that you do. Anything like that. We want to see that, and we want you to make sure and sign your name on it
I
and
think
where you're
Sandra
from.
could just cut these into 6.5 inch
Sandra
blocks.
could. Yeah, exactly.
She's got
so
3 red and
we
white
definitely
ones.
want to see those, and those are to be in by May 31st, so we have some time to get it done
Okay.
before the big 250th celebration. All right, and then of course we want to share with you the little sneak peek. Are you ready?
Yeah,
For
I
this
want to
one?
see him. I'm
Yeah.
ready. Here, let's
All
move
right,
this out of the way
guys.
so we
these
can
go
see
on
what
sale on the 26th of the month, so just a few days away, and they are $26 only on the 26th of the month. And we have them for both sewing and machine
my
embroidery.
That was a great preview there.
Yeah, right?
I love the way you just opened that up.
Does it get any cuter?
Oh
I
my
think not.
gosh.
It's so cute.
So the little flags are dimensional. Again, you can do it on the sewing machine, you can do it on the embroidery machine. They are pre-cut, pre-fused applique kits that you can get, and I think they're just as cute as can
Sign
be.
me up.
Right?
That is adorable.
Exactly, and it's
Oh my
perfect
gosh.
for summer. They're just so fun to make. I've been
It's the
seeing
berries.
so many of you
So cute.
getting yours finished from previous months, and I have to say they just keep getting cuter and cuter.
Yeah,
so
they
yeah.
are darling. Those are
Love,
those
love,
are
love.
great.
So this is, what do you guys think? Let us know in the comments. If you are a subscriber, those kits have been sent out already.
Oh, that's right,
and
it's the 21st.
you'll see the patterns go into your library within the next couple days. So, all right. Well,
are
that is
adorable.
all for today. Thank you so much for being with us. Thank you to the both of you.
Sure.
Wonderful
Thanks, Kris.
demos. I loved every single bit of it. And keep doing all the things you love. This is a fun hobby. It's what brings us so much joy. We know it brings you so much joy, and how wonderful it is to share together. Keep doing it, and we hope to see you again real soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.